Hey, how are you? I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for asking. For those of you who don't know, my name is Cherise. On my other social media platform, I go by the name of Shadow Lumiere, which means I love light. That name came about during a time of my life where I felt I was surrounded in darkness. So I needed to remind myself that I am of the light, and that if I wanted to emulate something out of what I experienced and what I was going through, that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, even if you're going through hardship and difficulties. At this moment in time in my life, I would say that I'm experiencing severe loneliness and depression, which contributes to quite a few things in my life that I never really thought that I would struggle with, but it is what it is. I currently live in the UK. I'm an avid traveler, or I was at one point. I majored in media, moving image, communications at college, and I went to university to do fashion retail management, but I didn't finish in my second year. Sometimes I feel like I should go back and study, but I'm not quite sure if fashion retail management is something that I really want to do now. When I was studying it, it was the collapse of the high street, so I kind of felt like I went to study a failing industry. I mean, everything is e-commerce now, so I think that if I was going to do anything, it would probably be business development, so that I could apply that to a range of different industries in regards to being employed. But my confidence, self-esteem, and mental health has suffered greatly, and I just feel like before I try to dedicate my time to an education body, that I should invest in myself and how I'm feeling. And that's been difficult for one reason or another, but I still take responsibility for my life and how I'm able to move forward, and what is actually available to me. Most days I spend by myself, and that can be hard, but I would rather that than be in the company of false witnesses. I don't like fake. Even though I do like eyelashes and wigs and nails and stuff, like, I don't like fake people. Like, if you're disingenuous, then please get away from me, because I feel like it's my duty to tell you that you're fake, and or even just remove myself without any reason. Like, why do I need to explain to you why I'm not around? Like, you know why. You know what you did. I know what you did. I've always wanted to put myself in a position to be seen, but most of my life I've always felt unheard, even by the people that have known me for the longest time. And I think that's probably why I seem like I'm a little confused. Like, I want to be a creative, but at the same time I've got anxiety and PTSD. And I don't really feel like I don't think that people understand me, and to compensate that, sometimes I'm oversharing, when really to be elusive or mysterious is not necessarily a bad thing. So now I find that I'm saying less and doing more, and people are worried about that. Like, they're like, "Oh, you should talk more," and I'm like, a minute ago I was oversharing. Now I need to talk more. Like, just pick a side. Like, stop bothering me. But one thing that does bother me is the fact that because I appear to be quiet, or somebody that's introverted, people think that they can try to bully me or pick on me or try to use me, or harvest the best parts of my personality and who I am, and then still tell me that I'm nothing or no one. And I'm kind of sick of it. So I just thought that, you know what I would do? I would give myself the opportunity to speak for myself, because nobody's gonna, nope, like, people are not interested in the truth. Not when the scandal is far more sensationalized than the actual truth. Like, people can't handle the truth, because the truth would shine a light on their demons or their darkness. I'm living in my truth. I'm trying to be authentic as possible, and show up as the best version of me every day, which is far easier than it sounds. But I'm trying to be the change that I want to see in my own life, and nobody's going to change that for me, just me. So, you know, if you resonate with that, or that's something that you feel is going on in your own life, then, you know, I welcome you to come with me on this journey, for me to be able to showcase who I really am and what I'm really about, and my highs and lows of trying to map out a life for myself, because it hasn't been easy. It's been quite difficult, and I know that I'm not the only person that struggles with that. And sometimes it is overwhelming for me. I just think, you know, like, well, you know, this is too much. I can't handle this. And it's just like, hold on a minute. Like, there is somebody out there that has less than you, less resources than you, and next to nothing or no one, and maybe not even a phone. And those are the types of people that I want to represent. The ones with all the potential and limited resources. Because out of adversity can come great abundance. And just because you don't have things, or you don't have the same as what other people have, or you don't have the same family life or upbringing as others, doesn't mean that you're not capable. Excuse me. Doesn't mean that you're not capable. Doesn't mean that you can't achieve things in your life, and doesn't mean that you deserve to be hurt by other people just because you're different, or people don't understand you. Ugh, stop. I hate this. But, like, I promised that I would show up as my real self, and that means that I'm not trying to hide anything. I'm not trying to edit stuff out. I'm just trying to be me, like how I feel when I'm at home and I'm by myself. And it's tough. It's tough. Content creation is not for the weak. It's not. But I'm gonna try. It's something that I really want to do. And I know that if you really want something and it's right for you, it shouldn't be easy. So because this is so difficult for me, or not difficult, but uneasy, uncomfortable, then I know it's the right thing to do, because I'm pushing myself. Like, I'm trying to keep eye contact with the camera. I'm trying to pause instead of saying I'm trying to not worry about clock watching, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm showing up as my most authentic self, because that's what matters, really. Not how much I have, or where I'm at, or what's going on with me, but just truly showing up as myself and being authentic and happy to share, you know. Like, there's parts of me that I wish that didn't have to suffer and go through what I've been through in my life, but I understand that I had to go through an extreme amount of pressure to become the best version of myself. And that's why I feel like I am in the position to advocate for myself and others at this point, providing that I'm willing to share authentically. I know it's a double entendre. It could mean I'm hiding away, or I had been hiding away in the past with the opportunity wanting to change things, or it could just mean that I have a difficulty in public speaking, And if you really know me and you're my friend, you know I have no problem. I have no problem speaking in public. It just depends on what the topic is. So yeah, um, it's just the first attempt of many. And I hope that I'm able to bring a smile to someone somewhere that's going through it, that maybe feel like nobody understands me, like no one gets it. Like, without saying too much, I get it. Because when you're depressed or you're upset or you're down, like nobody can eat upset. So people just don't really care about your feelings like that unless they aim to take advantage of your disadvantage. And there are a lot of people out there that do things like that. They don't want to talk to you when you're up. They need to see you down so they could take advantage of your disadvantage or create opportunity out of your adversity where they they benefit first, and you probably end up with nothing or just the crumbs. So in a debut and a rough introduction into being myself authentically and showing up, like this is me. I'm far from perfect. Far from perfect. But I'm not the worst either. So there goes that. And I hope that as time goes on, that you're actually able to walk hand in hand with me on this interesting journey called life that's just taking many twists and turns. And I wish for my mindset and my heart space to change, and be able to hold space for others that maybe feel like they're not listened to or they're unseen, because I know what that feels like, to feel like you're heavily observed and documented and still unseen and unheard is an oxymoron, and it could easily result in a mental illness or an emotional deficit in how you feel about yourself. And like, if you're still watching at this point, you're definitely seen, you're definitely heard. And I'm happy to meet your acquaintance, even if it's only in a digital sense, because I know what it feels like to feel socially awkward or cut off from everyone and everything around you. So thank you for your time, thank you for your consideration, and all comments are welcomed, positive and negative. I have to hold space for both. It's duality, it's a thing. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's not as easy as it looks, honestly. And I mean, and it's just me. It's just me in my box room. Like, it's not an active vlog, but I will try to do some vlogs, or try to force myself to bear people long enough to create content for you guys to view. But bear with me. I'm still trying to become comfortable with people. I'm happy that I'm showing up for myself in this way and not worrying about how I appear to be, because I don't want to come across as perfect. I'm not. I'm really not. I'm not trying to be. I just know that if I'm going to try to grow and develop and become the person who I want to be, I have to stop worrying about what people think of me, or thinking the most negative connotation and outcome of myself. Like, that's not okay. So if you know me from my life or my area or my school, I'm not the same person that you knew. I'm not. And if I've met you just recently in my life and I had to cut you off, you know what you did. Stop being stupid. And if I've yet to meet you and we ain't got no history and you're a cool person, then I welcome you into my life too, because my life isn't necessarily going to grow and change if I'm not open to have new people in my life in some context. And I can be quite antisocial sometimes. Like I will not suffer fools gladly. Like I don't think that it's part of my makeup to suffer fools. But I'm not designed to be alone either. Not long term. So I guess I gotta fix up a little bit. Like I'm trying to improve, I'm trying to grow, I'm trying to become the best version of myself. And I don't know, sometimes I feel like I've already had my best years, and it was like, no, your best years was spent in conflict and turmoil and not knowing who you are. Like now I know who I am better than I did before. And the way that I react to things nowadays is completely different to how I used to react to things. Like it's like day and night. Like you wouldn't even imagine that I'm the same person. So that's why I just feel like it's very important for me to be able to document where I am at this point in my life, so that people that think that they know me can understand that, like, no, you knew me, you don't know me anymore. And if you're not in my life, then there's probably a good reason for that too. So yeah, there's so much to say and so much to do. Like I'm excited about that, and I'm trying to use the excitement of the unknown to fuel me rather than the anxiety weighing me down, thinking like, oh my god, like what do I'm like, no, just be yourself. Like don't have to do too much. Like just being you is enough. And if anybody struggles with anxiety or depression or PTSD or anything of the sort, and you think that nobody understands what you're going through, like I do. And just because you find yourself sitting alone crying sometimes doesn't mean that you're weak. You just got pain. You got pain, and pain is not weakness, because if you've been in pain for a long time and you're not dead, that means that you've been strong for a long time, and that's got to mean something. So let's not mistake our pain for weakness. It's just sometimes when you've got a lot of pain, you can resent yourself for feeling weak because it won't go away. But what I'm trying to do is to turn my pain into my power, so it doesn't leave me defenseless. It's something that becomes a part of my defense, because I've regained power, because I've mastered my pain. And restoring my strength so that I don't have to worry about being weak, because there's nothing weak about being a warrior. And sometimes you have to go it alone. Sometimes there's battles that you have to face by yourself, and that doesn't mean that you're wrong. It just means that your specific outcome that you require probably doesn't benefit the majority. So that's why it seems like you're wrong for going it alone, and you're not. You're strong. You made the right decision to choose yourself, even when everybody else went against you and was acting like you was crazy. To be the first anything, everyone looks at you like you're crazy. So with that being said, I don't want you to feel like being silly or trying to make your own self laugh or pleasing yourself first is selfish. It's not. because if you don't do it for yourself, then who will do it for you? So I mean, I tried, you guys. I tried to make a YouTube video with confidence and genuine content. Please do like and subscribe if this is something that you have enjoyed. If you have any suggestions on content that I should create, I'll be more than happy to receive your suggestions. And you know, at the end of the day, it's all love, because you know, people who believe in me just keep bothering me, like, where's the content, and I'm just like, it's coming, and they're just looking at me like, yes, where is it where are the images? I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try. So thank you for so much for pulling up with me. Thank you for giving me your time, and thank you for your support and your encouragement regardless, because you know, it's the first step into my introduction of content creation, and hopefully you'll get used to my style of content and my delivery, because I don't necessarily think that I'm like other people, but I mean, I'm trying to find like-minded people like me. So if you is one of them, then please do follow me, and I will do my best to follow you back. All right then, laters.